Hi, Javier.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello,
I'm
everyone.
doing
Welcome
good.
again to another edition of Lupus Talks. Today, of course, is our terrific Tuesday, and we have, of course, Dr. Calvin Williams, Mr. Louis Olson, I call the dynamic duo, who's going to be sharing today on their topic for lupus. So I want everyone to take copious notes. And again, if you have any questions at the end, you can definitely submit it to our website at lupusofnevada.org. You can fill out the form there, and we'll be happy to respond. So, Dr. Williams, take it away.
Thank you, thank you. I welcome all to our channel. I hope you follow us, and the information we're giving is educational and informational. Um, it is to help you, not to harm you, and it's not to tell you what to take, when to take, and how to take. We are not physicians, so that's our disclaimer. So we're going to get right on in it. The topic today is what causes insomnia in lupus, and Dolores and I will attempt to talk about that. And also, I found something else that was on my computer. It says lack of sleep linked to increased risk of developing lupus among women. That's amazing. I didn't know that. This is a new study. Researchers found that lack of sleep was associated with increased risk of lupus in women. Sleep is a critical part of healthy lifestyle, and good sleep habits are especially important for people with lupus. In fact, sleep is key to supporting the immune system, as sleep disorders are associated with an increase of risk of autoimmune diseases. Isn't that something?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, so we'll go right on into, there's some more things on that, but I wanted to jump into this, what causes insomnia in lupus. They said several factors. Sometimes it's a combination can contribute to sleep problems with having lupus, um, pain, anxiety, depression, and I'm going to have Dolores talk about that. Those are the ones that we need to really, really, really focus on. Dolores, what do you think about the insomnia in lupus? What information do you have?
Well, in into the lupus and that it was saying that when they go to when they having trouble sleeping, when you're having
Mm-hmm.
trouble sleeping and that you're tossing and turning and more than
Mm-hmm.
15 minutes get out of bed to go to
Mm-hmm.
another room to a quiet low. This is what they were saying,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it can cause a lot because of the pain
Mm-hmm. Joint
associated
pain.
with it.
Joint pain.
And so, what happens when our bodies, just like even if we didn't have the lupus, but some people, because other autoimmune problems that people
Mm-hmm.
have,
Mm-hmm.
and that so it's kind of similar because
Mm-hmm.
they also have some people who does with pain also,
Mm-hmm.
and it
Mm-hmm.
keeps them up for some of them said they didn't get no more than 3 hours of sleep,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
sometimes there was yeah, they was up most of the night,
I'm one of them.
no, and the regular schedule that we should be sleeping is at least getting 6 to 8 hours of sleep,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know. But when it's associated with a lot of pain, and that it can be a different story in that, in which that's highly to recommend to talk to your doctor about that because it can lead to a dangerous situation.
Yeah, I'm going to jump into that. Pain, it says two of the most common symptoms of lupus are joint pain and joint swelling. The disease may also cause muscle aches, which it does, headaches, which it does, abdominal pain, which it does. Furthermore, some people with lupus also have fibromyalgia. A lot of them do. I have that. Fibromyalgia, which often occurs alongside autoimmune diseases like lupus, causes joint pain and muscle pain throughout the body. So when you have a combination of all that in your body, it's hard for you to sleep. My doctor has given me sleeping pills, and I don't take them all the time because it has an effect on me in the day. I get lethargic and moody, and I just don't want to do anything. And so that's the side effects of that. So the combination of symptoms can cause chronic pain that make it difficult to get comfortable enough to fall asleep and stay asleep. Because you got one way, you got lupus aching muscles, joint, then you have fibromyalgia dealing with the muscles, And that's something that it's a two-way street. They're hitting us on all sides, and that causes that anxiety and depression. And it says many aspects of living with lupus may contribute to mental health issues, including the stress of diagnosis itself, lupus symptoms and flare-ups, and managing treatment. Now, I know when I went to the doctor yesterday, a lot of us get nervous when we go in the doctor's office. We really do. We start shaking, our hands start trembling, because we don't know what the tests are going to say. We should have faith in Lord, which I do, but that flesh is going to be eating me up in the waiting room to find out what's going on, because I have not had enough sleep, and I let him know sleep is just, it's a joy if I get, 6 hours of sleep, but I don't. So I stay up and I write, write, read, write. That's what I do in the midnight hour. What is your feedback on that with the anxiety and depression?
Yeah, anxiety and depression, just like we mentioned in lupus and also in other states of illness or pain situation, people can also get affected with that too.
Hmm.
And it's like, and when you get that way, it's like it makes you really difficult. Then you become into the
Irritable.
lead of stress. It's
Hmm.
stress on your body, and then when you come into the stress, then you're like feeling like you're losing it because it's the way
Hmm.
you're
Hmm.
feeling.
Hmm.
And that because and then
Absolutely.
some of these side effects of medication could cause, they said, some of them said, anxiety and
Yeah.
depression.
Yeah.
And so both can happen like that. And of course, associated with it too, brain fog.
Yeah.
Just like with me with the lovely menopause,
Mm.
perimenopause, same thing. You know, you get the brain fog, then you
Uh-huh.
like more like, oh my goodness, I just read this and it totally went blank, everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So stuff like that happens and stuff. And that's why I number one, suggested again to bring your journal and write it down in your journal, share it
Hmm.
with your doctor,
Hmm.
and so that way
Absolutely.
they can treat you
Absolutely.
right for the symptoms that you have. Because
Hmm.
if you don't tell them exactly what you have, how can they treat you right? And you need certain things because sometimes you may need a little bit extra of a medication to
Hmm.
kind of help you with a certain problem. I know sometimes we don't like to take a lot of medication. Like I wish I didn't have to take it, like for
Hmm.
my thyroid and stuff, but I have to because to survive. Because you cannot live without a thyroid. I just thank God that I'm still living because I had cancer, and so cancer. I've been cancer free for so many years.
Hmm. Hmm.
So God gave me more than a living, because 4 times
Amen.
almost death.
Well,
And so,
go
yeah.
ahead.
And so the same thing, you just have to really just discuss it with your physician,
Well, that
write it down in your
medication.
journal.
I want to step in that medication, prednisone and other steroid medications can cause feelings of hyperactivity or insomnia. And you hit it right on the head when you said medications can cause that too. They took me off of prednisone and I'm on Plaquenil now. They talk about other potential causes of insomnia. It's possible to experience insomnia that's not directly caused by lupus. You may experience sleep disorders such as sleep apnea or restless leg syndrome, and I have that. So I have medication for that alongside lupus symptoms. So all the medications we take, we need to go back and talk to our physicians, like you said, and let them know. Ask them what medications here are causing me not to sleep, because they know. They know. And do I have to take them for life? That's very important, to ask them those questions, because it's very serious when you're up all night. I used to night walk, and they put a lot they put a lock on my Dolores,
Oh wow!
they put a lock on my door. They told you about that. The lock was on my door.
Oh wow!
Yeah, because I got up and walked out and was trying to get out the front door. And this is years ago, about 12 years ago. I was trying to get out, and my brother caught me. My dad caught me. What are you doing? And it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to get out. Where are you going? I don't know. I'm just going to go walking. They got me back to that room. They had to stay up all night. Look, they got a lock out of the garage and locked me in that room. Locked me in that room. It's not funny because that's what happens. People go through that. I remember I was in a store suffering from brain fog, and I was paying Sears's bill when Sears was over at Meadows Mall. And I was walking around looking at the clothing, thinking, "Oh wow, look at this clothing. Ooh, this is nice. This is." I had already paid the woman. She said, "Miss Williams, you already paid me. You've been walking around here for a whole hour, smiling and looking at clothes." I said, "No, I wasn't. I haven't paid you." And we went back and forth until she had to show me the receipt because I had lost my receipt. She showed me the receipt that this is where you were. This is what you paid me. And my doctor told me next time, don't let that happen again because, they like snatching driver's license. So I don't, I don't do that no more. I pray to God the Father in heaven, please don't let me have that again. Please. And everything has been fine. But what about those who don't? What about those who, we hear a lot of lost people have been lost and the families are looking for them now. And that's really not a laughing matter. I was laughing on behalf of me because I wouldn't have, who would have thought it would be me? And that's what you say when you're doing it. Who would have thought? So that is so important when you're looking for sleep because sleep, um, gives you a better output with your lupus. It's control factor with your lupus. The inflammation, the brain fog, the joint pain, the muscle pain with fibromyalgia. If you get that right sleep, you definitely going to have a brighter tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Because one thing, I mean, it's very sad that certain situations, because sometimes, like I said, like we discussed with the medication can make you go into a hallucination, and
Mm-hmm.
then you can have that sleep property that you're
Mm-hmm.
getting up and you're walking around. It's just some medicines are like that, side effects to that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like really, it's so sad, but we have to survive off this medicine because
Mm-hmm.
some people cannot afford going to a herbalist. So herbalist costs
But
arm
yeah.
and a leg in a
Mm-hmm.
body to get
Mm-hmm.
those ones. Like for my synthetic medicine that I take for my thyroid, I have to take it for the rest of my life because I had no thyroid. And that because they also is treating for cancer after years of cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I would have got that like into herbal, that would cost me an arm and a leg plus
Oh, really?
the visit. It'll
Wow.
cost a lot of money for that. It's a lot of money, but which it would have been worth it if you can afford it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a little bit better. But like I said, I just want my faith and everything to God,
I,
and I
I
say,
think,
God, you're healing me.
yeah, I think another one is I do acupuncture. And that is really good to make me go to sleep. I mean, I have that arm that bothers me, but with the acupuncture, it gives me a good night's sleep. They go on to say that successfully treating your lupus is one of the first steps to preventing or managing insomnia. Working with your doctor to get your lupus under control can help you minimize any symptoms that are causing sleeping difficulties. I'm getting this information from mylupusteam.com. So that's where this information is coming from for those of you that would like to look it up. But it's a major entity with the insomnia. It's major because I had to work on it. How am I going to get to sleep? How am I going to get a good night's rest? Um, and don't get stressed out because you won't go to sleep. If you're stressed out, your mind goes over and over and over, and that's where prayer comes in. I pray to God, don't let that devil take my mind and go around and around and around over the same situation. Let me go to sleep because the pain is there, the aches, and you can't take, once you've taken all your medicine, you can't go back and take a double amount. You just can't do that. You got to stay with the amount that you were prescribed. So that's another thing that, and please, ladies and gentlemen, please just think about this. Coffee, coffee. I don't drink coffee at night. You want to know why? Because I'll stay up all night long. Now that's for me. I drink it in the morning, the mushroom coffee, because I love that. And I'm not telling you what to do, but if you drink coffee, I stay up all night long, and I don't need that. So that's one of the things that we tend to do things that we shouldn't be doing, and we do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Um, and
Yes.
late at night, you start snacking. You start snacking. You start going to the kitchen and finding something to eat, and it's too late at 2 o'clock in the morning to be eating. You know, so we have to watch our diet with that. And then we have the restless leg syndrome, where we're shaking our legs back and forth, and it just bothers us because we're hurting. It's cramping, and I got medication for that, and it's much better, but it was just terrible. You know, I didn't know I had restless leg syndrome until my doctor told me that's what you have. Because I defined the symptoms to him. He said, "What's going on?" He said, "That's what you have." So it's a lot of things that Dolores said, get a journal, write that stuff down, write it down, write those things that are bothering you all during the month. And once you do that, bring it to your doctor and let you and your doctor go over it. And that's what's important.
Yeah, definitely. Cause and like with me, I get jumpy a lot because my nerves, until it
Hmm.
happens to me and
Hmm.
stuff. But and like I said too, a good way too to help with sleeping too, you can put on some common relaxation music,
Oh, yeah.
or you can aromatherapy if you can do some therapies like that. That's good too. Lavender is really good.
Hmm. Hmm. And you also can ask
Relax.
your doctor to adjust your medication or dosage, because that
Yes.
changes and that can contribute to your insomnia. So you can do that, and you also gotta practice good sleep hygiene. You gotta do that. Take a warm bath, just mellow out and get your body comfortable. Then from there, you're easing down into relaxation. That's what I do. This is me. Uh,
Yes.
and it's a good thing. It's a good thing, because I feel much better. Go ahead, Dolores.
Yes, and then if you don't have, like most people probably don't have a bathtub, they probably just have a shower. You can go in the shower. They have these little shower bomb things too
Mhm.
that you can put at the bottom. They have ones that's non-toxic ones
Yeah, excuse me
and
one
stuff. You
second.
can
Keep
put them at
talking.
the bottom, and then it hit the water will hit it, and then the steam goes up on it. And so those are really really good too for relaxation. They have a lavender and they have other ones. So you can try something like that. And then they also have body washes. That's really, really good too. That help you to relax. So do something like that. Deep breathing in and do some deep breathing, inhale, exhale, and that'd be really, really good too. And that help to calm you down and keep you calm, help you to relax and see how that works for you to help you sleeping. If it's the warmness of the shower, there's a warm. I know we don't want to do it too hot. You don't want to be too cold. No, like that.
Absolutely.
Just take it.
Excuse me.
Just have it. This at a comfortable temperature, because you don't want anything that's gonna drive you to make you feel like you faint or anything. 'Cause like with me,
Absolutely.
I can't have it too hot. If I have it too hot, I feel like I'm gonna pass out. This is a little cool, but cold showers, I
Mhm.
would not recommend it. Mm-mm. It may
It's
be good for some people, but not for us.
all
No,
people. Yeah.
like that. But if you do it lukewarm, it'll just make you feel good and just lather you up with some good, lavender. If you can handle with that. If you're not, they may have peppermint. Peppermint's really good too,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it helps
Mm-hmm.
to open up the lungs too.
Mm-hmm. Sorry for that interruption. That was somebody come into my door, and I thought it was important, and she's talking about voting rights. I said, I'm on a show. So I'm sorry to
That's
be so
funny.
curt with you. You want to ask me questions? I'm on a show. I can't do that. Come back later. What you said is absolutely right. You got to go to bed at a certain time. Make that a routine for you. You know, a certain time your body slows down. If it's 8 o'clock at night, you slow down and you start resting, and you start going to sleep. Your body is ready to go into that sleep mode. I get a little bit capital T off when my brother will wake me up, and he come wake me up. Did you hear that noise?
Oh.
Yeah, I want to I want to take something and clobber him with it, you know, because you can't go back to sleep. Once they wake you up, did you hear that? You know, just stand over me, you know, did you hear that? Why don't you go deal with it? If it's a ghost, go deal with it. That's on you. Let me sleep. And that's what happens to a lot of us. Our family members will interrupt our sleep, you know, and it's hard for us to get back to sleep. We have to have a good night's sleep. But this insomnia is very important in this topic today, ladies and gentlemen, because um, it, it it can harm you in ways that you wouldn't want to be harmed. You know, it messes with your body, it messes with your autoimmune system, and it can lead, like they say, lack of sleep lead to increased risk of developing lupus among women. Now, this is what they're saying. You know, on this site. This site is lupus.org. Researchers analyzed deep sleep duration data from 186,000 women from the Nurses' Health Study, 187 of whom had lupus, chronic low sleep duration less than or equal to 5 hours per night versus more than 7 or 8 hours per night, was associated with increased risk of lupus. The risk was nearly 3 times as high for those who also experienced high levels of bodily pain and depression compared to women, and adequate sleep duration and little to no bodily pain or depression. That's so important, you know, that we look at this and that we find ways to make ourselves happy, you know, so we can go to sleep. Open up a good book before, you know, when you get into bed, and read something, if it's a paragraph, if it's a chapter, whatever, and then slowly try to get yourself to sleep. And that's what I do. You know, if I know I have to read something and just mellow my body out. I have to mellow it out because this lupus is a tiger. It's a tiger by its tail. It reminds me of a leopard, not a leopard with stripes. Well, a leopard with stripes. It's dangerous. The lupus, the fibromyalgia, you know, diverticulitis. You got some rheumatoid arthritis. So much hitting at the same time. But when I went to my doctor yesterday, he said your kidneys, your this, your that, everything is just top shape. You know, he says it's amazing. I said, well, thank you. Well, I'm taking a lot of supplements. I told him I'm taking supplements that you guys don't mention. You know, and that's helping me quite a lot. You know, you gotta research for yourself, and once you research, you make the determination while you're taking your medication, what are you going to support it with? And that's what I do. What am I going to support it with? I just can't take the medication and think that's all I need. I need something, you know, like you take a vitamin. I need something that's going to support my autoimmune, you know, my immune system. So that's what I do, you know, and then I write the times I don't get any sleep. I'll jot that down. I didn't get any sleep Saturday or Monday or Tuesday, and I got this amount of sleep, 6 hours, 5 hours, 4 hours. And that too I give to my doctor. Why is this? What's going on? What part of the medicine is messing up? It's messing me up, you know. So him and I can put our heads together and figure out which is which. Like you said earlier, Dolores, which is which in terms of getting with the doctor with your sleep. Because a good night's sleep is
Exactly.
important. Go ahead.
And even with me, I get up for prayer calls and a Bible study because it's Eastern Standard Time. But I noticed when I go into bed at 8 o'clock, 8:30, like that, and it's just 5 days a week, and then on the weekends I sleep in a little bit. But, and I still okay because according to my phone, it says I'm still getting 6 hours or 7 hours of sleep
Mm-hmm.
because I'll go back to sleep at the 3 o'clock and then I get some sleep from there. And I
Mm-hmm.
still meet the recommended amount of sleep.
Mm.
So
How,
that's the difference.
that's different. How do you do that?
It's on my iPhone. It's on the Heart app. There's a Heart app thing. It'll track because when you put in when you want to wake up and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
it'll tell you how many
It'll
hours. And
show
then
you
it
how to
says
do
according to
that.
that,
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
just one time. It's just one time I got less sleep, but then I made the difference because then I went back. I slept a little bit more, and then
Mm-hmm.
so it made up a little bit difference.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you don't
Yes,
get up out of bed fast. You get up out of bed slowly. Because I notice when I get
yes,
up out of bed fast, I'll fall. So, that's for me, and other people may do the same thing. Because you're waking up from a dead sleep. When you sleep and your body has to get functioning again. So that's very important. But the things we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, talking about insomnia is very important. Check your medication, talk to your doctor, check practice good sleep hygienes, consider sleep aids and supplements, consider that. I'm not telling you, but consider. Um, you have to look at other potential causes of insomnia, manage insomnia with lupus and getting a good night's sleep. Those are all important. When it says consider sleep aids and supplements, some people find that certain supplements or natural sleep aids help ease lupus symptoms and promote a better sleep. Or some people, have you tried calcium, magnesium before you retire? Um, that's one of the things they're emphasizing themselves. They were talking to someone about that, and so she said yes, it did help her. So I like to go to sleep naturally. I don't like medication to put me to sleep, even though I have sleeping pills, because I get up groggy, and I don't like that. So you got to find your niche, and go to sleep. Drink some hot cocoa, before you go to sleep. Some hot milk, warm milk, I should say. Way before you go to sleep. Not in the midnight hour, but drink something that's going to ease your stomach, ease your mind, and then hop in bed. uh, You know, and just think good things. Think of good things. What did you do today? What are you going to do tomorrow? Was this a good day? You know, um, have I done what I should have done? Am I checking up on my lupus? My lupus is a part of me, so I have to actually work it as it's me. I have to come to love my lupus. And I do, because if I don't, it's going to show me something. And people might think that's ridiculous, but it isn't. I have to come to say, okay, you live in my body, so what do I have to do? I've got to make it right. And that's what I do for my body. You have any other questions or things? I don't know if Ed's going to come back on. Are there any other comments, Dolores?
yeah. So the main thing is keeping ourselves balanced in that, and like I told you my story, how what I do with my sleep thing, because I know at the first time when I first was doing this,
Mm-hmm.
I was this a little bit low hours in the beginning, but then I learned how to adjust it more, and then it worked out better.
Mm-hmm.
And now, because it felt good with those, the Bible studies and the prayer and routine. And I had just keep that. I just kept on asking God to help me to be able to wake up,
Mm-hmm.
because I was never that type of person to wake up
I
like
wake
that.
up at 4. I wake up at 4. The cat will wake me up between 4 and 5 to pray.
Oh, amen to that. Amen. God is good.
Yeah, but for those that just want pick me up, you've got to look at the things that's good for your body. Talk to some people. Get some books on insomnia. Read what's going on with insomnia and other people, what other people are saying, and that's the best way to get all the necessary information you need. Because that's what we do. We read books on insomnia, on fibromyalgia, on rheumatoid arthritis. Read. You can't do enough but read, read, read. And then make your own judgment what you want to do and how you want to do it.
Yes, amen to that.
Ed, are you coming back on? I guess he's out. His picture's up there. Well,
Ed, are you where are you? We're trying to find you.
I'm sorry, I was
There
busy
he
with.
is.
I was just finishing up. Uh, yeah, you ladies did a great job. Good job on the topic. And that's interesting to learn something new about this topic that you guys talked about today. And that is interesting that lack of sleep can cause lupus. And that's interesting to see
mm-hmm.
that can be a thing, So, again, good topics, always good topics to talk about. Something you learn new about the autoimmune disease and what can happen and what can transpire if we not take care of ourselves properly. And
Absolutely.
so yeah, the next thing I would love to talk about, we're getting some inquiries about the nutrition of foods you eat. Can that trigger something, in you to have problems?
Nutrition.
Yeah, that can cause
Okay.
problems to trigger or to flare up the autoimmune disease as well for those who are suffering from it. And then those who don't have the diagnosis yet, but have symptoms but don't know what these symptoms are, how can they find out about, that
Mm-hmm.
and understand, well, what is this that's going on? Because it's coming amongst a lot older adults, younger
Mm-hmm.
adults too, at the same time.
Yes.
So a lot of these um, ailments that befall us, and I always think about what could we do to prevent it? What can we do to keep an awareness up?
Information.
Right. Yeah. Get them out there so we can get them informed and get them to the doctors and get them checked out so they know exactly what they're really dealing with here. Because some people have lived with lupus for a minute before they even knew they had it.
That's true.
Yeah.
So those are the things that I'm looking at as I'm hearing the inquiries here and some of the things that people talk about. And as we do our research and stuff, and I posted on there, Dr. Williams, what you gave me for the blog post
Mm-hmm.
information post on there. If you guys go to the website at lupusnevada.org,
Mm-hmm.
you'll see the information there,
Yes.
the latest news in reference to lupus and things that's going on. So
Yeah.
you guys can be informed and be transformed by the renewing of your mind in reference to what you should be doing day by day. And so I'm real excited and I'm real happy that um, these two ladies here took the time out of their day to even put this together and do this consistently because this is very important. And I believe that this can definitely heal the country as well as around the world. So as we continue on, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be here every Tuesday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and of course 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, and 5 p.m. Eastern Time. You'll be hearing about this show. It's going to be on the YouTube channel. You can always go to the YouTube channel as well to get more of the information of this Lupus of Nevada and on YouTube and then on Facebook as well. We're on Lupus of Nevada and as well as LinkedIn and everywhere else we go. We're
Mm-hmm.
on all of these platforms. And what I'm posting now is basically we talk about the month of June as we close out the last of the second quarter, the last month of the second quarter of the year, moving into the third and fourth quarter as we move on to the rest of 2026. What are we doing to continue to educate and uplift each other in the communities that we serve in? And what are we doing right now to give us the information that's going to be impactful for the next generation to have? It's not about us, but it's about the next generation and empowering them and making sure that they have the resources that they need to continue to grow and build as we do. So with that, I want to thank you all for this opportunity that we shared. Dr. Williams, any last words?
Yeah, I want to say, please look at your body because that's very important. Our body talks to us before we even go to a doctor. So, I tell people always how you living, how you living. and
Yeah.
then they know what I'm talking about. How are you living? That's my
Okay.
last word.
All right, Dolores.
And always create a space, library space, even if you have a small corner, just to do your research. That's very, you want to say
Oh,
education on anything that you have, and then that way you will learn about uh, the problems with what you're having through your body. So do
That's
yeah.
your
right.
research.
Yes, that's very important. Having a library and books to grab and to get. But you can also get a book from Dr. Williams, Loving God While Living with Lupus. That's a beautiful book, as
Yes,
well
it
as
is.
Christina had lupus,
Yeah.
Yes.
another children's book that she wrote. And she has a third one. And here's the thing. We want to make sure that you all that's tuning into us and that's sharing this as we promote this across the platform online through the search engines as well, that you guys get the full story and information that's going to be beneficial to you. And then you can pass it along. Each one teach one, so
That's right.
let's keep that ball rolling and keep passing the baton and the torch over to those who who are dealing with lupus. As Dr. Williams said earlier, you get moody when you,
You do
when
get
you go through a lot of different mood shifts in here. And so
Oh, yes.
how do you deal with that? What do we
And
do when we get with moody people? And I know
I
moody people.
I was able to do this on my computer, Calvinius Galactic Cure Quest. That's
I
lupus.
saw that you sent that to me, and
And
I thought I said, wait a minute, did she just turn herself into a cartoon
yeah,
character, character?
and my key person in here is my co-pilot is Cobalt, my cat.
Yeah. I said, did she just turn herself into a comic book character?
Yeah,
Wow,
Oh, that's so
that was
funny.
impressive. I really enjoyed that. You showed me that.
I'm trying to get some more.
Calvinia. I know that's good. That's really cool. I mean, that right there, this is what we need. And again, this is a good way for the kids to learn,
Hmm.
and also educating them in ways that they can understand. We got to give them the milk before we give them the meat. So this would be a good
Yes.
opportunity for us to grow and get them on board with what we're doing here as a
Hmm.
movement, because this is a movement. Lupus in
Absolutely.
Nevada has been around for over 20 years with Dr. Calvino's vision and Ms. Dolores Olson, and what they've done to share, to give back. And with her cooking style and nutritional style that Dolores does, for reference to what to eat, what not to eat. And we always love our foods and whatnot, but you can do it in a more healthier fashion and still enjoy your normal foods that you normally would have eaten. That's not healthy for you. I'll put it like that. But there's ways of doing it, and so you'll get all this full story. It's going to be on the website as well, lupusnevada.org.
Yeah.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, go there, fill out the form if you have any questions or inquiries. We'll, of course, be happy to address any of those that you may have, and you'll hear directly from the dynamic duo. Matter of fact, there should be a comic book for that, dynamic duo,
I
Dr.
got.
Williams and
I
Dolores,
might.
I know,
so
huh?
you got
Tag me on
you
there.
got the super D's right here, the super D's, it could be that.
Whipping up some whips.
Yeah, that's right. So it could be some of everything there what we have, but I just really want to take the time. Thank you all for this. And like I said, if you guys have any questions or inquiries, please go to our website at lupusnevada.org. My name is Ed Peterson. Of course, I'm one of the producers here of this show. But I'm really excited for everybody to get a chance to learn as they earn, and also get a chance to just again get out there, share it amongst the people. And if you don't have a group to be a part of, and I noticed I got some other inquiries about that too, you can be a part of this group here, Lupus in Nevada. Even though you're in another city and state, doesn't matter.
That's
You
right.
can be our online group, and you can definitely share. And we can go there, go to our Facebook page, go to our YouTube channel, and I'll put the post description on this after this video, so you can see that, and then you can basically go from there. But until then, next week, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back again to share more topics and more information of Lupus of Nevada, Lupus Talks. So with that, you have a fun, pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege. That's from my brother Ed Brown. You guys keep the faith, and as always, keep building your dreams. Peace out for now.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Bye bye.
Bye.